Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Rajesh Ghangal from Manav Rachna International University, Faridabad. Today we are going to talk on module Gas Liquid Chromatography, Theory, Principle and Instrumentation under the paper Chromatographic Techniques 2. After completing this module, you should be able to learn about the basic theory and principle of gas liquid chromatography. You'll be able to learn the function of each major components of gas liquid chromatographic system, to explain the fundamental basis of separation in gas liquid chromatography, and to have an idea about different types of injectors and detectors in the gas liquid chromatography, and to have an idea about the operational parameters which can be tweaked for better performance of the gas liquid chromatography. As discussed previously, chromatography is an analytical chemistry technique which is used for analyzing and separating the compounds from a sample mixture. Any chromatographic technique in general has two phases, stationary phase and a mobile phase. The gas chromatography is used to separate and analyze compounds that can be vaporized without decomposition. In this technique, the volatile mixture is separated by using a gaseous mobile phase. It is an analytical technique which is useful in separation of constituting components of a mixture, thereby providing the information about their amount and molecular composition. The output is in the form of a chromatogram detailing the heights and the area of the resolved peaks. On the basis of differences in stationary phases used, gas chromatography can be of two types, that is the gas liquid chromatography where the stationary phase is the liquid, and gas solid chromatography which has solid as a stationary phase. Now we will look upon the theory and principle. In gas chromatography, retention of sample annihilates occur due to higher interaction of annihilate molecules with stationary phase than the mobile phase. Thus, interaction of annihilate molecules with stationary phase plays an important role in separation of sample components. This separation occurs in the gas chromatography columns, which we will study later in this module. The rate and degree of partition of sample components depends on the chemical affinity of the annihilate towards the stationary phase and annihilate vapor pressure, which in turn is governed by column temperature. During standardization of the process, the parameters such as chemical affinity of the annihilate towards stationary phase and annihilate vapor pressure are manipulated either by changing the chemical nature of the stationary phase and the column temperature. In gas liquid chromatography, the mobile phase is the carrier gas, which is inert in nature like helium, hydrogen or nitrogen. In most of the instruments, helium is used as carrier gas, but for better separation, hydrogen is the preferred gas. Stationary phase in gas liquid chromatography is a microscopic layer of liquid inside the column made up of either metal or glass. The liquid material used for stationary phase have high boiling point like silicone grease or wax. To obtain better results and for maximum column efficiency, there should be optimum flow rate of the mobile gas phase. The basic principle in gas liquid chromatography is that it exploits the differences in partition coefficients of volatilized sample between mobile gaseous phase and stationary phase as the sample passes through the column. Components of the volatilized sample interacts with the stationary phase and elute out from the column at varying intervals depending upon their retention time. Every compound has a different retention time, and thus some elute out faster while few elute slowly at a later stage. Separation of components are achieved by a series of partitions between moving gas phase of sample and stationary liquid phase held in the column. The partition coefficient, or we can also call it a distribution coefficient, measures the affinity of an annihilate to be attracted to the stationary phase. It is measured by concentration of annihilate in the stationary phase divided by the concentration of annihilate in the mobile phase. Large partition coefficient values results in extended retention times of the annihilate. The value of partition coefficient can be controlled by column temperature or chemical nature of the stationary phase. The use of this technique is confined to anhalides that are volatile and thermally stable. In this process of separation, highly volatile analyte elute out first, thereby marking an inversely proportionality of partition coefficient and volatility of the analyte. Retention factors, sometimes also called as capacity factor, is used to describe the migration rate of an analyte onto a column. The retention factor of analyte A is depicted by the formula Ka equal to Tr minus Tm whole divided by Tm, where Tr is the retention time, that is the time between sample injection and generation of the analyte peak when the sample reaches the detector at the end of the column, while Tm is the time taken for mobile gaseous phase to pass through the column. Tm and Tr can be obtained from the chromatogram. Ideally, retention factor for an analyte should be between 1 and 5. Lower the retention factor, faster the analyte elutes out, and high retention factors like greater than 15 means that the elution will take very long time. Gas liquid chromatography is highly sensitive and has high speed of resolutions. The technique not only determines what type of chemical is present in mixture, but also tells the quantity and each chemical in the mixture. The liquid stationary phase used in gas liquid chromatography generally have low volatility and high decomposition temperatures like polyethylene glycol, dimethyl silicon, diethyl glycol succinate, etc. The non-volatile liquid coated along the inner wall of capillary tubings or on the inert solid support as a thin layer helps in partitioning of the sample components between stationary phase, that is the liquid layer, and the mobile phase, that is the carrier gas. The solid support used in gas liquid chromatography includes materials like glass powder, diatomaceous earth, powdered Teflon, cursed firebricks, carbon black, etc. Now let's talk about the instrumentation of the technique, that is gas liquid chromatography, as to know the components of the machine, that is the gas chromatograph. The equipment generally consists of cylinder containing a carrier gas, which is to be used for supplying gas into the instrument. The flow regulator that controls the flow of carrier gas into the instruments, an injector that helps in loading of the sample, gas chromatography column where actually the separation takes place, the temperature regulated oven that helps in maintaining the temperature during the whole separation process, detector which is present at a short distance from the column that helps in detection of the analytes after the separation, and data systems or recorder where the data is recorded and generated. Now we will discuss about the working of the instrument. Most modern commercial gas chromatograph systems operate in following ways. That is, first, an inert carrier gas such as helium is supplied from the gas cylinders to the gas chromatograph, that is the machine, where the pressure is regulated by using manual or electronic, that is pneumatic pressure controls. The regulated carrier gas is supplied to the inlet and subsequently flows through the column and finally into the detector. The samples is injected into the heated injection port where it is volatilized and carried into the column by the carrier gas. The sample is separated inside the column, usually a long silica based column with small internal diameter. The sample separates by differential partition of the analyte between the mobile and stationary phases. On elution from the column, the carrier gas and analytes pass into a detector, which responds to some of the physiochemical property of the analyte and generate an electronic signal measuring the amount of analyte present. And last, the data system then produces an integrated chromatogram. Now discussing about the individual components, we will first discuss about the carrier gas. Carrier gas or the mobile phase is an important component in gas-liquid chromatography. Carrier gas should be inert in nature, such as helium, hydrogen or nitrogen. In 90% of the gas chromatograph systems, extremely pure helium is used, as it is inert in nature and non-reactive. However, for better separations, hydrogen is the preferred gas but is avoided due to its explosive nature. Pressurized cylinders are readily supplied by vendors as steel tank with two-stage pressure regulator to regulate the gas coming into the instrument and then to supply the various parts of the instrument. The gas chromatograph has control mechanisms. Modern gas chromatogram instruments have electronic pneumatic pressure controller, while the older ones had manual pressure control via regulators. High-grade helium, referred to as 5,9 gas, is used in the process. Now, what is this 5,9 gas? It means that the gas being used in gas chromatography is 99.999% pure. Sometimes, for few applications that require extremely pure gas, helium gas entering the separating column is passed through at least a resin trap that removes oxygen, hydrocarbons, trace analytes, and water vapors which might interfere with the analysis part or degrade the column or interfere with the detection system. Special attention should also be given to the purity of tubing which is used to connect the source, that is the cylinder, and the machine, that is the gas chromatograph. Next component happens to be the injectors. After passing through the resin trap, the purified helium enters the injector where it acts like a mobile phase by pushing the analytes through the separation column. Basically, the chromatographic process begins when sample is introduced into the column without disrupting the flow in the column. Here the sample is volatilized and the resulting gas entrained into the carrier stream, entering the gas chromatograph column. Numerous type of injectors are available like on-column injector, splitless injector, cryogenic focusing injector, etc. But splitless injector is the most commonly used injector in gas chromatography. The splitless injector operates in two modes, split and splitless split mode. If the sample solution is containing highly concentrated levels of analyte, like that of parts per thousands, the injector is operated in split mode. That is, in split mode, only a fraction sample is injected truly enters the separation column, and the rest is vented to the atmosphere. Due to high concentration of analytes in the sample solution, even the small fraction of analytes in the solvent are adequate for the identification and quantification. For sample solutions containing low level of analytes like parts per million or parts per billion, the injector is operated in a dual or splitless split mode. In this dual mode, when the sample is injected, the injector operates in splitless mode and whole of the injected volume is pushed onto the separating column. But if this splitless mode is continued throughout the run, the peaks will be non-symmetric and will interfere with the peak integration. To overcome this problem, split mode is switched on approximately 30 to 60 seconds after injection. This dual splitless split mode permits majority of the samples to load onto the column while clearing remaining sample to allow for a clean, well-shaped chromatographic peak. Highly volatile analytes that cannot be analyzed in standard gas chromatographic conditions are examined using a cryogenic focusing injector. The bottom of the injector, which encompasses the head of the capillary column, contains a liquid nitrogen. The liquid nitrogen or this cryogenic fluid cools the column and results in condensation of analyte at the head of the column. Once the analytes enter the column, that is after the injection, the liquid nitrogen is removed and column oven is heated to analyze the volatile analytes. Another consideration is with respect to volume of sample being analyzed, which is extremely small quantity and require precise handling to generate reproducible results. Auto-samplers help in introduction of samples automatically into the inlets, thereby providing better reproducibility and time optimization. For any experiments, its validity stands upon the reproducibility of the results. While handling with the low volume samples, chances of getting an error is high due to the manual loading or manual injector. To overcome this problem, auto samplers are used in gas chromatographic machines. Auto samplers can be used to inject up to 150 samples instantaneously and precisely the same amount of sample injected every time. Although the gas chromatography systems have choice for manual insertion of sample, but it is very rarely used because these automatic samplers can consistently and precisely reproduce small volume injections and save considerable labor costs. With the introduction of robotic autosamplers and electronic pressure control for carrier and support gas, the gas chromatograph can now be operated for long hours without human intervention. These are some of the advancements in the instrument. This allows the researcher to return after hours or days to help the samples analyzed and data stored for further processing. The next important component of gas chromatograph is oven that helps in regulation of temperature of column where the separation occurs. Sample of gas chromatography must be converted into and maintained in vapor state throughout the separation process. The temperature of the separating column is controlled with the help of oven, as it keeps the column at the temperatures ranging from 40 degrees centigrade to 400 degrees centigrade. Oven heats rapidly and can be cooled using a fan to vent out the hot air at the rear of the oven, thereby providing thermal control for better separation of analyte. The column is provided a supported system so that it prevents it from touching the oven wall and can damage the column. The injector and the detector connections are also within this oven. Depending on the operations, gas chromatography can be performed either isothermal or temperature controlled. Early gas chromatographs performed isothermal separations or operations, and a steady temperature was maintained throughout the analysis. While in temperature programmed operations, oven temperature is regulated as per the requirement for the gas chromatograph separation, and the temperature program is fed into the system. Temperature controlled allows separation of chemical analytes spanning a range of vapor pressures in a single analysis. The temperature is an important factor while analyzing the complex mixtures. Now, this is the most important component in analytical gas chromatography, and that is columns. Columns are important as quality of separation depends on the properties of column used. Early gas chromatographs used to have a typical 1 to 5 meter long and 1 to 5 millimeter internal diameter. However, micro-packed columns used later on had less than 1 millimeter of internal diameter. Limitation of packed column was improper resolution due to their length, as pressure drops resisted the gas flow within the column. This restriction was overcome by the use of capillary column, in which the stationary phase is coated on the inner wall as a thin film. Now, the advantages of capillary column over the packed column was it increased the separation efficiency. Its ability to work at low temperature using capillary columns, thereby giving better separation in same time or same separation in shorter time. Results have been obtained up to 10 times faster than the packed column. Due to lesser amounts of stationary phase in a capillary column, its capacity is limited. Therefore, it has spatial sample introduction methods and sensitive detectors. The column is coiled to fit the temperature regulated oven, that is the column oven, and is connected with the injector and the detector inlets. In column, glass columns have been the ideal choice in gas chromatography by most of the researchers. However, earlier various other column materials such as nickel, copper, and stainless steel have also been used. Coiled glass capillary tubing was in culture for quite long time, but due to fragile nature of glass, fused silica columns that are flexible, durable, and chemically inert were later on employed in gas chromatography. And these fused silica columns were based on fiber optics technology. In recent times, packed column is almost completely been replaced by flexible fused silica tubings, wall coated open tubular, that is WCOT capillary columns. Quality monitoring of the fused silica column is done by checking the point defects and general strength of the capillary tubing. During this step of quality check, internal surface chemistry of the fused silica is also verified so as to meet the application for which it is intended to be used. The columns are coated with the stationary phase. Practically, the stationary phase in gas chromatographic column should be unreactive, adequately wet column support, and have reasonable solubility in commonly used volatile organic solvents. High molecular weight hydrocarbons such as hexadecane, sequalane, and epizone greases are lately used as low selectivity stationary phases. Hydrocarbons are susceptible to oxidation and should be used with carrier gases having a low oxygen content. The most useful stationary phase contains either ether or ester as anchor functional groups like polyperfluoroalkyl ether oil. An ideal support used in gas liquid chromatography should have sufficient surface energy so that the stationary liquid phase is able to wet the support by forming a thin, stable film over it. The support should be sufficiently inert to eliminate solute interactions with its surface. It should have a larger surface area to weight ratio, thereby facilitating the preparation of columns with a high phase loading, be mechanically stable, and good conductor of heat to facilitate the rapid thermal equilibrium. Preparation of packed column is a multi-step process which involves mixing of liquid phase with the solid support in the presence of suitable solvent, followed by removal of solvent by evaporation, and finally packing the dried material into an empty column. The next important component of gas chromatogram is detectors. Detection of analytes in gas chromatography plays an important role in separation process, as the whole idea of analyzing the sample will be wasted if the analyte is not detected. Detector detects sample components, that is analytes, on the basis of their physiochemical properties. It implies the response and generates an electronic signal, thereby generating the chromatogram. As the sample gas stream comes out of the column, the detector monitors the separated components of the gaseous sample and signals are interpreted after data acquisition. Different types of detector exist in the market. However, choosing among them is mainly based on the application for which it is being used, chemistry of the analyte, sensitivity, and on whether qualitative or quantitative data is required. The mainly used detectors in gas chromatography are flame ionization detector, thermal conductivity detector, and electron capture detectors. Other commercially available, less used detectors include the photoionization detector, nitrogen phosphorus detector, atomic emission detector. The thermal conductivity detector is one of the earliest gas chromatograph detectors. It uses helium as a carrier gas and its principle is based on the thermal conductivity of analytes and the carrier gas. It means thermal conductivity detector is based on change in the heat absorbing properties of the gas effluent when the carrier gas is altered with the analyte. another most common detector in gas chromatography, that is the flame ionization detector, relies on the formation of gaseous ions from organic molecules combusted in the hydrogen air flame. In last couple of decades, mass selective detectors or mass spectrometers, a less expensive instrument, have dramatically transformed the practice of gas chromatography. Last in the instrumentation of gas liquid chromatography happens to be the data systems. Data system helps in acquisition of the data generated by the detector after the separation has been processed. The data system receives the analog signal from the detector and digitalizes to record it as separated peaks in the form of chromatogram due to the chromatographic separations. It automatically reports peak retention times, peak areas, etc., and the software displays the result in an automated manner. Thus, gas chromatograph can be used to perform various quantitative and qualitative operations, thereby assisting in sample identification and quantitation. So after getting technical knowledge about the instrumentation of gas liquid chromatography, we can look upon the basic concept in this technique, like concept and structure of capillary columns, concept of carrier gas as a mobile phase, concept of liquid stationary phase, temperature or pressure programming. A thorough knowledge of above said points can give an idea about the operational parameters which can be tweaked for better performance of gas liquid chromatography. It helps in addressing the issues like general effect of the column dimensions, temperature programming, carrier gas type, flow rates, etc. on separation detection limits and peak retention times. Thus, deep understanding can help the researchers to look for the trade-offs between these performance factors. In the end, we can summarize what we have studied today in the following points. Like we learned about the basic theory and principle of gas liquid chromatography. We learned the function of each major components of gas liquid chromatographic system. We discussed the fundamental basis of separation in gas liquid chromatography. We also got to know about the different types of injectors and detectors. Lastly, we learnt about the operational parameters which can be tweaked for better performance of gas liquid chromatography. Thank you.